So why would you ever defend a tier 2? Shouldn't. What's up, everyone? This is Donnie, aka Elevated, with another video on behalf of Dota Alchemy, and this one's going to be a little bit of a mashup of some fun clips from a replay review session. Some of them are pretty simple, but there's a couple interesting points that I think you guys are going to enjoy, so let me know if you knew all this stuff before the video or what your favorite point is in the comment section below, and whether you like this type of video or not. Enjoy the video. This is where the game's really going to start going south, I would imagine. You guys don't have Zeus, you don't have Viper. Just don't even be here. Just don't even be here. You guys don't have your two main D-push teamfight heroes. You should just completely concede this tier 2 tower. There's no point in defending it. Can't defend it, in fact. And you have no vision, so coming up here is really, really, really aggressive by you. And you're going to get punished for it, as we can see. But if you want to do anything right now, I would put up some preemptive wards because we're about to potentially take a fight for our high ground. So I would probably want to put a sentry over here, like in these trees. I'd probably put an observer ward, something like this, so you can see trying to wrap around. And you could even potentially just run over here and place an observer ward here, because this is the area where the fight is going to take place in, and you want to preemptively get vision here so that you can, you know, not get picked off like this, or be able to target the right people at the right time. So this move coming up here and trying to D-push with your Wave of Terror, you know, it's like, it's just not going to do anything. As a result, you're probably going to get caught out. Your Shaman is getting caught out. Your Ursa is trying to save you guys. You're still taking a fight without the Zeus. Viper is kind of rushing to the fight, and now he's kind of out of position. Basically, I would think about towers in Dota in this way. Like, for the first 15 minutes or so, it's really important to have your tier 1s up. Probably up until like the first Roche, the mid tier 1 is really important to have up. I mean, potentially if you can keep the mid tier 1 up forever, like that's fine. But once your tier 1s are down, you want to defend your tier 2s to a certain degree. You want to defend your tier 2s because they are hard to take. So if the enemy team is not that strong and they're pushing your tier 2 and you have the ability to wrap around on them from the shrine, then you can definitely go, you know, take a fight and defend your tier 2. But tier 2s are really not that important of towers because they don't really extend your map control very far. They're kind of just like something that slows down people pushing into your high ground. That's about it. So let this tier 2 slow down their momentum by them having to kill it first. That's about all it does. You know, it doesn't actually give you any more map control. Do you really care about controlling this tiny band of land that has no creeps to farm? Not a little bit. You don't really care about this at all. It doesn't give you access to any camps. Actually, none does it protect. So that is why tier 2s and defending tier 2s is usually a pretty big mistake that people make. I've seen so many people glyphing for tier 2s when teams are definitely pushing high ground. I've seen people defending and taking fights for their tier 2s when they don't have numbers like you guys just did, getting picked off and losing the game as a result. Like, Viper just died. Now he has to buy back. They're just going high ground. You guys probably just lost the game by defending this tier 2. And you used the glyph on it. So, you know, like, all those things just happened. You defended a tier 2 that does nothing for you other than slow down the other team. You expended all of your resources in terms of your lives and glyph to defend the tier 2. And now you have nothing left to defend your tier 3. So why would you ever defend a tier 2? Shouldn't. Unless one person can defend it by themselves, because you're way far ahead. I guess that's a good caveat to make. If you guys are very far ahead and you can defend a tier 2 without expending lots of resources, then do it. But most of the time, it's not worth it. So in this matchup, I'm not super familiar with the Clinks against Tinker matchup. I don't play any mid, hardly. But I would imagine that, like most lanes, you have a big harass advantage with your Searing Arrows. Now, one of the main problems is that your wave is on his high ground, which means that you can't even harass correctly with your Searing Arrows because Why? Because you would miss uphill. So it's not going to be very efficient to trade uphill because of where the lane is. The next thing that I noticed is that you have this on autocast. That is also a problem because this skill allows you to right-click heroes and do damage to them and harass them in the creep wave. Because it does not proc creep aggro if you use this actively. So if you press W and you click on the Tinker with your W, you will attack the Tinker and these creeps will not aggro to you. However, because you have it on autocast, if you were to attack the Tinker, the creeps would aggro to you because you're doing a regular right click that then just has this applied to it. So in the laning stage, you should not have autocast on searing arrows. You should be manually using your searing arrows to hit. Got tranquils, we're working on our Aether Lens. So I think on Shaman, I would prefer to just see a Brown Boots Windlace as your inventory because we showed this in one of our recent videos, that if you have Brown Boots and Windlace, you end up with about the same movement speed as Tranquil Boots when they're unbroken and more movement speed when Tranquil Boots is broken. So it's right now, you would actually have more movement speed if you just had Brown Boots and Windlace. Or rather, I would say Arcane Boots and Windlace. That would be even better. And you definitely want Tranquils and you definitely want Aether Lens, but you want your item progression to go Arcane Boots, Windlace, support stuff, then eventually you get your Aether Lens. And you probably buy your Void Stone at some point, and then once you have enough gold, then you disassemble your Arcane Boots to finish off the Aether Lens, and then you complete the Tranquil Boots again. Okay. Also, I don't think that you needed to go Time Lock level 1. I think I'd prefer to have Time Walk instead of Lock. The trading in this lane is not really that important, and you can do your trading by walking up to them and punching them a bunch, and then time walking away. The time walk actually allows you to take better trades than time lock does, because only 10% of the time are you going to take a favorable trade with time lock. But 100% of the time will you take a favorable trade with time walk, because you can hit them twice or 3 times, and then you can time walk all of their damage off. So you're always going to have a better trade when you take time walk, and 10% of the time you're going to have a better trade when you have time lock. So hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a mashup from a replay review session. And if you're interested in having your own replays reviewed in a replay review session every Thursday, be sure to check out the link below to our Patreon where you can support us, and one of the tiers will allow you to participate in the live weekly replay review streams. Myself and Jenkins will be coaching you live every week. Good luck, have fun in your games, and we'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the video. We genuinely appreciate your time and attention spent with us here on the YouTube channel.